Pass for Xbox 360, and it's a game called Hunted the Demon's Forge. The Demon's Forge. Now, I picked this out to talk to you guys about because I literally just finished it yesterday. I played it through co-op with my friend. Played the whole game co-op, and it was awesome. Don't get me wrong, it's a cheap game. Like, there's issues with it, there's some glitches and stuff, but it was so much fun. The characters are really funny. I got it for £4 from CX. I love getting second-hand games from CX that you just want to play co-op because you get them so cheap, and you can find so many old games because I play all of my co-op games on Xbox 360 because there's just a lot more games on Xbox 360 co-op. And yeah, this was so much fun. It's really dark, very demony, as you can imagine by the title. But the characters are really strong, and you get really cool weapons, bow and arrows, swords. And we basically played through it twice because we thought we accidentally deleted our saved game. So we played through the whole game like twice. But I highly recommend this game if you guys want a fun co-op game that's super like fighting, cool battles. Some of it was actually really difficult, like the final boss, or the final boss was so difficult. We had to replay that so many times because it was one of them ones where you have to learn exactly what the boss is gonna do, so that you can, next time you try it again, you can make sure you go in the right position. And so yeah, it's just like one of them ones where it's like really you have to practice. Practice makes perfect. But we actually finished 2 games the other night, this one and Fear 3 for Xbox 360 as well, co-op, which was amazing. I mean, Fear 3 was better than this, really. It's a totally different kind of game though. Fear 3 is a horror game. But I am a big fan of Fear 3, it was so much fun. Okay, on to the next. So, this I purchased a couple days ago and I haven't even been on it yet. So this is for PS4 and it's Star Wars Battlefront 2. And I had the first Battlefront and loved it when I first got it. Played a lot of it and I just got bored of it because it's quite repetitive in my opinion. But when this first came out, it was super pricey, and I knew that I thought it would be repetitive again, so I didn't purchase it. But then they had this on sale at Tesco recently, for £20, I think, something like that. So I thought I'd just get it, give it a go, because I love Star Wars, and I don't want to betray Star Wars by not getting this, because I love all things Star Wars. So I'm gonna give it another go. And there's actually a story campaign mode, which is exciting. I don't know if it's any good, but I'll have a lucky. And I'm excited to play as different characters from the newer Star Wars movies. paths to the different jobs you can do. Do little quests and stuff. I heard that they're going to release a Fantasy Life game for Nintendo Switch, which I would be very much on board with that. Okay. Oh, I was going to say what game I got distracted with. I've just gotten the game Yonder, the Cloud Catcher Chronicles. I think it's called. I just call it Yonder because it's too long of a name. For Nintendo Switch, but it's also out on PS4. My gosh, you guys, I'm gonna do a video playing that game because it is unbelievable. I freaking love it so much, and it's such a relaxing game. So yeah, but I'll do a video on that game. I don't have the physical copy, so I couldn't get it. So I got it digital. It's not out yet in physical copy for Switch. So this is a Nintendo Switch game. Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. So I've nearly completed this game now. I got it on the release day, like I pre-ordered it, and yeah, I've nearly completed it. I'm on the last world. I love Donkey Kong. It's just a super, like, well, I was going to say chilled, but it's not because it's incredibly stressful when you keep dying all the time. But it's like one of them games you can just play anytime. You don't have to sink into it. If you only have 10 minutes spare, you can have a few games. It's not like, you know, a proper open world game where you know that if you start playing, you're going to be on it for the next few hours. excited to see the new Jurassic World movie when it comes out. But this is good because you get to play through all the original Jurassic Park movies in game form, obviously in Lego form, and also the the final game I've got to talk about is A Way Out, for PS4. I absolutely love this game. Yeah, it was great fun and quite cheap because it's a short game. You know, we completed it in two nights. But great fun. Okay, that's it for my part. On to OopsydaisyASMR's part.
Hello everyone. So, this is my part of the collaboration, and I will be showing you 4 of my absolute favourite games. Now, I have to say, my absolute top favourite game of all times so far, I unfortunately don't have with me today, because at the moment I am still in the process of moving, and I actually forgot to pack my favourite game. You always forget to pack something. So my absolute favourite game of all times is Life is Strange. I'll put the picture up here so that you can see. And I actually had a different favourite game until I played that game, which I will be showing you in a minute. So yeah, I hope you enjoy the video, and yeah, maybe, well, I'm sure you've seen some of these games, but one of my favourite games is actually not very well known, unfortunately. So anyway, let's get into the video. So the very first game I have to show you is the very first game I ever owned, and that is this one. This is obviously the yellow Game Boy Color, or is it just for, no, it's a Game Boy Color game. So this little game came to me when I was about 7 or 8 years old, and you can see there's a little chip up here because I used to play with it so much, and it just, at some point, I don't know what happened to it, but it never made the gaming experience less enjoyable. So yeah, I remember playing this a lot, and actually the first night that I played with this, well, it was Christmas, and I didn't know that at some point, if you play games for too long and you stare at a screen for too long, you can feel a little bit sick. So unfortunately, the very first night I spent with this game, I wasn't feeling too good, but obviously the game is absolutely wonderful, and yeah, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I mean, I also have the silver version, which I believe came out after this one, and basically the stories always kind of, stay the same, but yeah, I was recently thinking about buying one of the new Pokemon games, but unfortunately I don't have the proper consoles for the games at the moment, so yeah. But this one actually still works, because I think I read online somebody was saying that the memory in these doesn't last very long, like it doesn't last for years and years and years, but this one still has my save files on them, which I love, because I recently saw which Pokemon I had at the very end of the game, and Vaporeon was my number one. I still love that Pokemon to this day, I love it so much, and yeah, I just had a lot of enjoyable hours with this game. I think the second game I bought was also a Pokemon game, which was the Pokemon Pinball, which essentially was just playing pinball, but it was quite cool because it had like this compartment up here, which had batteries inside, so every time you would like donk the sides of the screen, it would do like a like a vibrating motion and noise, and that was a cool kind of thing that added fun to the game back then. And yeah, so this is the very, very first game that I owned, and yeah, it will always have a very special place in my heart. Now, the second game, this is German by the way, this is Harry Potter und die Kammer des Schreckens, which, as you can probably tell by the snake, it's from the second book, Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. Now, you might think that this is just the story from the book and the film. However, this game, I mean, let's be real, the newer Harry Potter games, like I'd say from like the fifth book on, they were kind of shit. Like, no offense, but I just really didn't like them, and they were nothing like the first games. But this game was just so much fun because it had a lot of like side quests, and you could collect cards, and you could find like secret passageways, and you know, collect chocolate frogs and Bertie Bott's every flavour beans, all that good stuff. And I played this for hours when I was little. Like, I remember coming home from school and, you know, being very naughty, not doing my homework, and then, you know, going to this immediately. And yeah, I just love this game so much. And also, I have to say, in both the first Harry Potter game and the second Harry Potter game, the music is so beautiful, and it almost sounds as though it's by the same not authors, what's the word? Can't think of the word. The people that make the music. My brain isn't working today. Anyway, the people that made the musical score for this, it's just absolutely wonderful. To the point that when I was a teenager, I would look up the music on YouTube and then download it onto my MP3 player. And yeah, so this is definitely in my top 5. And it's a lot of fun. So if you ever feel like playing an old PC game filled with a lot of magic and lovely music, then I would give this one a go, because it's absolutely wonderful. Right, now this one is absolutely fantastic, and this was the game I meant when I said not many people know about this. Now, this game I got as a birthday present when I was 13, and it was definitely not recommended for my age. I got it from 2 friends who had an older brother, so he was able to buy this. I love this game so much. It's a horror game, but due to the fact that it is, well, it's a fantasy horror game, and you play this character called Jen, or Jennifer, but she prefers to be called Jen, and she is accompanied throughout the game by this little guy here called Scree. And as you can see here, she has this like, I don't know what you call these things, arm braces? Do you call them that? I'm not quite sure. And yeah, well, it's a very long story, but essentially the story starts with her and her boyfriend being at a club, and her boyfriend is performing with his band. And as soon as they leave the club, they get attacked by this monster, and she's severely wounded and has to go to hospital. And then suddenly this guy here appears and frees her soul so that she can move. Well, she still looks like herself, but her body is still remaining in the hospital bed. So obviously she freaks out and she's like, where am I? What's going on? And am I dead? What's going on? So he explains to her that she has been chosen to basically save all the worlds that are within what he calls the Nexus. And yeah, so it turns out that her boyfriend was also taken into a different world, so she's basically looking for him throughout the game and trying to restore peace to all 4 realms of the Nexus. And yeah, I love this game. She can transform into 4 different forms, so not only her mortal human form, but different kinds of like human demon personas. And yeah, depending on what world she's in, she can either run faster, or she's a very good swimmer, or in one world she looks like a vampire and in the last world she looks like kind of like a djinn, like a genie. And it's a really cool game. I also love the music in this. Most of the songs are by a band called 16 Volt, and I don't know what you call the kind of music, like I don't want to say anything wrong. Is it rock or metal? I really don't know. I'm really bad at describing music, I'm sorry. But it's absolutely wonderful, and I think it's one of the most underrated games to ever exist. I also think they both have great voice actors. They did a very, very good job. And yeah, as you can see on the back here, this is what they look like throughout the game. As you can see, this is Scree, he's a little demon. And this is what Jen looks like in her, I believe it's called Ferai form. So she looks like a badass lady with horns, and yeah, she's battling a bad guy here. And on this side we have her in the last world, looking kind of more like the alien and kind of, yeah. And I also love the outfits and just the whole worlds in the game. They're just absolutely beautiful, and again the music is just absolutely fantastic. So yeah, this Before Life is Strange used to be my absolute like number 1 favourite game, and it's the Kingdom Hearts game. Now, I like the entire series, don't get me wrong. It doesn't mean that I just like the first one, but this is obviously where my journey with Kingdom Hearts started. As you can see here, I don't know if you're familiar with Kingdom Hearts, but if you are, you will probably be just as hyped as I am for the E3 coming up, since I think they're going to be showing a lot more to do with the 3rd game coming out soon. So we have here Sora, Riku, Kairi, Goofy, and Donald. And I believe under this thingy here there's a Heartless, who are essentially the bad guys in the first game, or throughout all games really. And so it's basically a mix of Final Fantasy and Disney. I mean, Sora, Riku, and Kairi aren't from Final Fantasy, but there are a lot of characters from Final Fantasy who are in this game. And I just love the story so much. It's just so wonderful, and I've played this so many times, I think. I don't know. And yeah, it will always be one of my absolute favourite games because, I mean, if I went into the story it would take me hours sitting here, but essentially you play this guy and yeah, throughout the first game he is looking for his friends Riku and Kairi, and they all used to live on an island together called Destiny Islands. And yeah, one day he meets Goofy and Donald, and they are looking for their king, King Mickey. So these three form a team to look for their friends in different worlds, and it's just so beautiful. I love this game so much. Now, since obviously there have been a lot of games added to the series, yeah, it would just take me ages to sit here and explain the whole thing, but I'm very, very excited for the third game to be announced very soon. And yeah. So, that's that. Those were some of my favourite games. Thank you very, very much for watching, and yeah, I hope you sleep well, have a lovely day, and thank you again for this opportunity to be in the lovely collaboration. So, I'll be going now. Bye bye.